Hello, my name is Rachel Lawson. I have been an English teacher at Cours Molière for 4 years now, and I'm in the primary part of the English program. So our school is a bilingual school, as you know, and we have the French classes, and then we also have English classes. We have some subjects that are shared, so that means science, for example. Some years we might have it in English, and some years we might have it in French. This year we have science and geography in English as well as our main English classes. For our English classes specifically, since I am one of the English teachers, I can speak a little more about that. We split our students up into two groups. So we have an Anglophone group and a Francophone group, and that allows us to have very small class sizes, which means that we can really concentrate on what our students need, and we can move at a little bit of a faster pace. Inspiring. It really shows us the true potential that children have. As adults, sometimes we find it difficult to learn a new language and it takes us a really long time. And children are able to absorb things so quickly, and they're just excited to try. So they're able to really advance very quickly, and yeah, it's truly inspiring to see. So one of the things that actually really helps us is just how the other students are. When you work in a bilingual school, you'll see that a lot of children are very open and very welcoming to new students. And because they're able to speak many languages, when other students come in speaking a new language, they immediately feel comfortable, and we try and help them in bringing them towards other students that we know will be welcoming and that we know will make them feel comfortable. As soon as students start to make friends, that's typically when we see that they excel and they're starting to do wonderfully at school, because that's when they start to feel they're most comfortable. So really helping them make friendships is one of the first steps at our school. It completely depends on the age, of course, and I can speak a little more about the English side of things. So in maternelle, of course, they're trying to gain as much vocabulary as possible. They're learning the language probably for the first time for most of them, so they're really acquiring vocabulary. In CP, which is the equivalent of grade 1, they are starting to really learn how to read and write, so we're putting a lot of focus on that and adding as much vocabulary as we can. As we get older, we start to move into grammar, so we really start to develop those skills. And of course, for the Anglophones that come into our school that are already English speaking, we start working on that a little bit earlier. So we really try to get them speaking with grammatically correct sentences as early as possible. Now, the French side of things is a little bit different, but it does kind of follow the same lines, where reading and writing is still just as important in the grade 1 part of things. And then as we get older, we see going more into verb conjugation and grammar and things like that. I would say the most important thing is to be patient. When children start school, of course, there's going to be a little bit of time at the start where they might be a little nervous, they're not really sure how they feel. Patience is absolutely going to help in this case. They will come around, they will feel more comfortable. It's always scary as a parent, of course, seeing your child be nervous or not quite know how they feel at first. But if you stay patient, the child will adapt and they will feel more comfortable eventually. So it's actually very linked to the last question. One of the biggest things that we see is, especially for new students, they can be a little shy. They can be a little nervous about making new friends, about the new environment. And it's exactly the same thing. We need to stay patient. They will come around. As soon as they start to see that the other children are very welcoming, the other children try and help them, they typically warm up very, very quickly. And so just having patience at the start is really one of the main and most important things. I actually get this question a lot. I know that a lot of parents are nervous because they say, oh, I don't know how to speak English, or I don't have the correct accent, and there's no worries. There is always a way to help. I know that a lot of children have screen time, so if they do, one of the biggest things that can help, especially for accent, is letting them watch TV in English. So instead of their screen time being in French, or the other way around, depending on what language they're trying to learn. Just getting them as exposed to that language as possible. And if they aren't allowed to have screen time, there are books that have audio parts that they can listen to. There are games that have different sounds and things like that that can always help them. So even if the parent has no idea how to speak one of the languages that they're trying to learn, there's no issue. There are still ways to help at home. A positive attitude. We're not super concerned about them bringing school supplies and things like that on the first day. We know not everybody is going to have all of the things on the first day. That's no issue. If they come in and want to be there and they want to make new friends, that is what will help them the most. And again, if they're shy, that's okay. We will be able to help them feel comfortable. So even if they come in with some shyness or some nervousness, that's no issue either. One of the things that some of the younger students can do, so in the preschool, the maternelle section, is they can bring in something that makes them feel comfortable. So if they have a little toy or a teddy bear or something that they feel very comfortable with, then they could bring that so that when the parents leave, they're not feeling as scared. And so yeah, so the younger children can bring in something like that. And for older children, honestly, just coming in with themselves, being themselves, that's the most important thing.